Neil for Messicks here, giving you the first look of our Mount Joy facility. Back in about May, we explained to you that our company was going through a big transition here, taking our anchor Elizabethtown hub store, kind of where our business really first started and grew, and we're having to move that store 6 miles down the road here to Mount Joy. And moving a hub store sized facility is a huge undertaking, but we're in the first days here of moving the inventories down here. Things are starting to take shape, so we're going to walk around here, show you a little bit about what we've done and the benefits that there are to you in this transition.
Messicks, a helping hand with your land.
We're really excited to be able to come down here and have a fresh start here in Mount Joy. So we're able to have one entrance behind me here for everybody to go in. If you're coming in for parts sales, service, rental, applying for a job, whatever it is, everybody is coming in at one single front door here, as opposed to having to drive around the property trying to find the right place in order to come in. It's the same story with the equipment lot as well. If you follow me over here, instead of having this patchwork of equipment lots all around the building, we've now been able to move down a lot of our inventories to this one large equipment lot outside here. Now, you may have known that we sell a wide variety of equipment, but being able to see it is kind of a different story, and this gives you a little bit of a perspective of just how much stuff it is that we sell and what a variety of equipment that it is. We have been so out of space at the Elizabethtown store that a lot of this machinery is actually kept at off-site storage facilities or in lots that we were renting out behind tree lines that you could hardly see from the store. But when you bring it all down here, even with inventories being as low as what they are right now, it gives you a greater perspective and a greater understanding of exactly what it is that we're able to help with. So whether it's literally from a push mower to a combine, there's very little equipment that Messicks doesn't have some kind of hand in and ability to be able to sell and service. This is a really nice thing for us, for you to be able to come down and shop. It's much easier. You could drive up and down these aisles. Walking does take a while. Makes it a lot easier for us to be able to find things when we need to show you something. We're not jumping in a pickup truck to go out somewhere to go out and try to find it. Helps us keep our inventories organized. It's much nicer for shopping. Just a big benefit to be able to bring all of this stuff into one spot and not have this patchwork of lots that we've dealt with in the past. If you're coming into one of our stores to drop off equipment or pick some machinery up, you may have noticed the congestion that happens at our loading dock and also at the lack of customer loading and unloading areas. The E-Town store really had only one spot far up by the service department where a customer could come in with a truck and a trailer and find enough room to be able to park where we can get forklifts and stuff in order to load that trailer. Also, if you went and you watched our loading docks, places like this where you could back up a trailer, if you don't got ramps and stuff on the back or you need to load something in the back of a pickup truck, getting access into that dock was really hard. It wasn't unusual to come down and see 2 and 3 trucks lined up trying to get in. Being able to come down here and have a modern facility, we now have dock doors that a truck can back up to when we're unloading equipment, keeping things dry and inside when the weather's not nice. Or if you're coming in as a customer, we have a lot more options now for truck locations to be able to back your truck up to and load and unload from varying heights, and also 4 parking places to be able to come in with your truck and trailer where you're able to load and unload with a proper amount of space. I'm standing here in our new wash bay. You hear the echo. I'm showing you this for 2 reasons. One, it begins the conversation about efficiency. When we have somebody that's on the clock billing you by the hour, we're very cognizant of what it is that they're doing and the amount of time that it takes them to get tasks done. Part of us being able to bill is working efficiently and being able to justify the time that's put into something. Washing equipment for us was a bottleneck. We did not have a lot of space in order to be able to get enough people able to wash machinery at one time. And so sometimes you look out there and you see that one guy is waiting for somebody else to clear the wash pad before being able to come in and wash a piece of equipment, and that's effectively unbillable time for us. That's time that we can't pass on to you, so we do our best in order to make every one of these minutes as justifiable as possible. Also tells a funny story staying in here as well. If you look at this big door back here behind me, a lot of people have asked what it's been like doing a major construction project in the midst of COVID and all the supply chain problems that are out there. And we can tell you actually it's gone shockingly well. Scenic Ridge, our general contractor, really did a fantastic job of keeping this project on schedule, and we are actually moving into this building on time, believe it or not. This whole facility was built in about 9 or 10 months and stayed on schedule. However, there is one funny thing here that remains, and you can see it here in this big door behind me. We don't have springs for most of our garage doors. So we've got a couple of functional doors around here, but there's a couple of places where these big barn doors have been built so that we can get in and out of the place until our springs arrive. We're constantly trying to learn and innovate when it comes to the different business functions that we have, right? Whether it's parts sales or service, you're always looking to improve your business over time. And we have a lot of opportunities to do that in the shop. When you have a clean slate like this and can kind of start over again, it gives you an opportunity to do a deep dive on the different parts of your business and look for the ways that you could bring the most value to our customers. One of the ways that we can do that is with the way that we handle these trucks that are here behind us. About half of our service technicians drive a big truck like this, one with a crane and generator and air compressor and everything on the back. These are serious investments for our company and also serious investments for the technician because they own a lot of the tools that are inside of this truck. Most of these guys are going to have a job that is going to be on the road where they're out traveling, but also when they're not on the road, a job that's happening simultaneously in the shop. Now, in this new facility, we've actually integrated parking spaces for these trucks inside the shop. That does two things for us. It keeps the trucks out of the weather so they're not parked outside, which is something we've had to do in the past. This is a $100,000 investment here for us, and keeping it out of the weather is smart. And it's also an efficiency driver here, being able to pull these things inside because all of that technician's tools and that investment that they have is in this truck. So when they're working here in the shop, everything that they would be using on the road, all of their special tools and everything are right here at a reach away rather than having to walk outside the building in order to get the tools that they need to work on your job. Investing in the aftermarket side of our business is really important. It's good for you to buy the right piece of equipment, but what is really more important is what your ownership experience of having that piece of equipment is like. So it's why we invest so heavily in the parts and service side of our business so that you have positive things to say about the equipment that you have and also dealing with us. We've seen here over the years, taking our existing facility and adapting it to a modern style of doing business has been really hard. Our buildings just simply weren't big enough for modern warehousing, for high pallet racking, for more bin space, and it's becoming really hard for us to meet the levels of service that we expect from ourselves with such inefficient storage. It was bad enough that we shared that we actually had a neighboring police department move out, and we bought their old building and started rolling boxes of parts into offices and stuff on a pallet jack and storing them in there. Just a really poor way for us to be able to get you parts quickly. Being able to come into a new facility now, we're able to adapt to all of this modern standard for storage. So if you go and you walk in, you're gonna see high pallet racking, you're gonna see many more bins so that we can store this inventory in an efficient manner and get it for you quickly so that you're not standing around waiting for it any longer than you have to. We're standing here in our new showroom. The entrance is right back here behind me. As you walk in, you're gonna come here and you're gonna find the parts department. Now, as we've grown, we just have simply not had enough capacity for the number of you that come in our front door anymore. So our existing Elizabethtown store has 12 parts counter stations. Here we're able to have 16. That's a lot more stations available for people to be able to walk in and not have to wait for somebody to be able to help them, being able to put more of our customer-facing staff in front of you. That continues over here to the service side as well. Now, if you remember, our service department entrance was up in a totally separate building before. Now, we've got the same people and the same business model working here, but all of this is now located right inside the front door. So when you step in that front door, you've got access to parts and service immediately here. Now, that helps us too when we're communicating between departments by being able to put everybody in the same space. So it kind of helps that interdepartmental communication so we know what's going on. If you continue around here to the other side, you'll see that we have a proper sales showroom now. As equipment has gotten bigger and we've needed more space to be able to show things off, well, we're able to actually have that now. So you see behind me here, we've got a showroom big enough to be able to fit a Krone Big M inside the door. We did this here almost as a joke to ourselves to see if it was possible, but we're gonna have enough space here inside that if you wanna come in and look at a piece of equipment on an inclement day, or if we have something really unique we'd like to be able to show off as you're coming in the front door, we finally have a place to be able to do that. If you notice over here to my left, there's also Weaver Insurance Group. So we've been looking at partnering with businesses here that kind of serve the same kind of people that we do to be able to co-locate them inside of our building. Try to make this a one-stop shop. If you're looking for insurance, I know many people here locally work with these people. They're going to be located here along with us, kind of putting this as a resource for everything that you might need for your day-to-day. If you can't tell, we take education kind of seriously, right? I spend a lot of time here on YouTube making videos explaining how to get the most out of your equipment. We do that here in the store as well. Now, generally during our open houses in the wintertime, there's a week-long schedule at every location of different clinics and stuff that you can come to understand equipment better, but not just to buy more stuff, but also to understand better how to maintain it, how to get the most out of it as far as utilization goes. Now, that's always a really disruptive thing for us at open house, right? We're gonna have to go in, clean out shops, clean out the showroom, and make space in order to be able to invite people into the dealership. But here in Mountjoy, we were able to plan that stuff into the building itself. So there's a community space here on the back side of the showroom that has a couple of different functions for us. It gives us a space to be able to pull a big piece of equipment inside, to be able to show it to somebody that might be shopping, but also be able to do training on it internally here, to have a dedicated bay space in order to be able to do that. It's also a space that we intend to open up to outside groups. If you're an FFA or an ag-based organization, this is a space that we would like to open up to you. We've got tables and chairs to fill it up. It'd be a free space to come have an event. So kind of a flexible space for us, but more importantly, gives us the opportunity to be able to take that educational side of what we do here and extend it out over the course of the year, rather than only being able to have it during the open house time of year where we've prepped facilities to invite you all in. So I hope you enjoy this first look of our new Mountjoy store. We're really excited to be here and to be able to kind of evolve the way that we've done business over the last number of decades. Just excited to continue to look for ways to raise that bar. We're moving right now. There's a lot of stuff headed in here. People and inventories and everything are starting to move into the store. We've got a lot of work to do to get all this unpacked, get everybody comfortable, and start to merchandise some of these spaces. So give you some more video tours here in the future as that progresses, but we will be serving customers here by the time that you watch this video. So come and check us out. We're available for all of your parts, sales, or service needs. You can give us a call at 800-222-3373 or check us out at Messicks.com.